Welcome back to the Parenting Without Power Struggles podcast. Today, we're going to talk about something that parents tell me they really long for, which is emotional connection with your kids. Between work and school activities and homework and getting kids showered and bathed and teeth brushed in bed and fed, by the end of the day, a lot of parents feel like they have spent more time saying, hurry up, do this thing, brush your teeth, start your homework, get in the car, than just really deeply connecting emotionally. And if you feel that way, you're not alone. The good news is that deepening connection with your kids does not have to mean a trip to the zoo or hours of gazing soulfully into each other's eyes. I'm going to share with you today some really small but very doable practices that will help you nurture that trust and that closeness, even in busy times. But first, hi there, I'm Susan Stiffelman, a marriage and family therapist and the author of Parenting Without Power Struggles and Parenting with Presence. I host a large online community of parents from all over the world, and we do classes every month on things like chores and siblings and anxious kids and homework with colleagues like, Maggie Dent, Janet Lansbury, Byron Katie, Terry Real, Gabor Mate, Dan Siegel, Tina Bryson, on every topic under the sun. So if you aren't already a part of our community, I hope you'll check it out and find all the wealth of material that we've put together for parents on every aspect of raising kids. So let's get into the nitty gritty, because we know that human beings are social creatures. We are designed to be interdependent. And children are designed to be dependent. They come into this world profoundly helpless. And that changes over time. In fact, part of what we're nurturing as we raise our children is more and more independence, because we want them to be able to survive and continue the species, continue the line, even when we're not here. But this is a very long process. And what kind of runs as a thread through it, even when our kids are independent and don't need us in the practical ways, is that they need, and we need, that emotional connection. And that often gets pushed aside because there is just a lot to do every day. And especially, you're stretched thin, you have your own obligations, your own job, your own other children, your own needs. So I want you to be thinking in terms of micro, okay? Not macro, but micro. Micro moments really matter. Connection does not have to be the trip to the zoo. It can be a 1 minute look into your child's eyes and smiling. But remember to transmit, and this is the intangible part. It's not just looking into their eyes like in a weird, creepy way, but it might be putting your hand on their shoulder, really listening when they tell you about a bug that they saw or about what happened at lunch. So these are like emotional deposits into their bank account, and they really go a long way. Then there's the 5 minute ritual. The 5 minute ritual is where you, if possible, on at the same, more or less the same time every day, you create a ritual that they can count on. So this is 5 minutes when you're just fully present. It might be snuggling right before bed, playing a really quick card game or a game of Uno or a game of Connect Four right before dinner. It could be a big hug with a special handshake before they go to school. Kids thrive on predictability, and rituals become really valuable anchors for that sense of security and closeness with you. Another thing you can do that I'm a big fan of, and if you're getting my newsletter, you see that I often write about this, is repair. A lot of parents feel like they have to get it right. They have to do it perfectly, but really repair almost strengthens intimacy in ways that don't happen when everything's humming along. So even if you snap at your kids, you brush them off, you're impatient, you're tired, you're rushed, circle back. And you can hear other episodes, and you can certainly get my newsletter, and I've got classes on all of this. Hey, honey, I was stressed earlier. I didn't listen very well. Would you like to try again? Will you give me another chance? This teaches kids that relationships can endure those bumps in the road. Then there is what I call visiting their planet or entering their world. And I've written about this in my books, and I talk a lot about kind of the nourishment that comes and the understanding and empathy that comes when we leave our sort of mindset, our world behind for a little while, and we visit our child and we try and see the world through their eyes. So ask your child to show you something that they care about. Maybe it's something they're making with their Legos, or it's a drawing, or it's a dance move. For little kids, you might be a narrator while they act out a little play. For older ones, join them in a game or ask them to show you something that they're really interested in a book or on YouTube if they have access. Then it's really saying what matters to you matters to me. And if you know the work of the wonderful Dr. Gordon Neufeld, and I've shared some of his ideas around attachment that are just brilliant, this idea of sameness, which is fundamental to building secure attachment, which is, builds on this idea that what do we have in common, or if we can't find something, how can I know more about what lights you up? Start your day with connection, end your day with connection. You could call it the connection sandwich. Silly and a silly joke or sharing a riddle in the car when the lights are going out at the end of the day, asking a question like, what's one good thing from today? Or what was your favorite thing? Or what surprised you today? Kind of bookends the day so that kids, these rituals again, that they feel that we're with them. As I said at the beginning, we're really interdependent creatures. We are meant to lean on one another. And if you're familiar with my work, I talk a lot about being the captain of the ship. And the captain of the ship is hold the place for children and teens, which shifts over time because ultimately our kids need to be captains of their own ship, but where they know they can relax. And that is made so much more possible when we show an interest in deepening emotional connection, not just in taking care of their practical and pragmatic needs. So when parents say, I don't have any time, I don't have time for this, I'm barely keeping my head above water, my answer is start small, really small. Even 30 seconds of your undivided attention is really powerful. It isn't the quantity that matters, it's the quality of your presence. I did write a book called Parenting with Presence with Eckhart Tolle's imprint. So if you haven't read that, you might get some more ideas from that. Kids remember how it feels to be in the presence of someone who's seeing them, who's interested in them. It's not about how many hours you log. So as you go about your week, look for these little ways, just sprinkle connection into the everyday while they're brushing teeth or you're packing their lunch, walking to the car. Maybe increase your awareness of how many of your interactions are about the practical tasks of the day. And as you gain awareness, you might be able to shift that to more things that indicate you're just curious about them and interested in who they are. If you found this episode helpful, as always, please share it with a friend. It means so much to us to broaden our reach, and that happens largely because people like you listen. If you got something valuable, you can leave a rating or a review. Love that so much. It's so appreciated. And share it with a friend. But mostly consider the things that might enliven the relationship that you have with your child. And remember, it's a two-way street. So when you build emotional connection with your child, you're also filling your own cup. As we wrap up, I'll just say, as I always do, no matter how busy life gets, look for those moments of sweetness and joy. Stay well, take care, and I'll see you next time.